So showing the navigations first. So we can navigate to the BI reports and analytics in two ways. One is from the Springboard and second one is from the navigator. So in the Springboard, you can find the reports and analytics related link in tools. So once you click on tools, you will find an icon called reports and analytics. So if you click on this reports and analytics, it will navigate to a different screen and take you to the reports and analytics. Here in this screen, we need to click on browse catalog. The second way is from navigator. In navigator, the same option again. We'll go to the tools. We'll click on reports and analytics. Here it is. Click on browse catalog. So in the reports and analytics, in real time, all the reports, all the standard reports or any custom report are stored in shared folders. Now, difference between my folder and shared folder. So in the my folder, if you create any report, it will be limited to your username and rest of the users will not be able to access my folder related reports. Whereas in the shared folders, all the users with BI roles will be able to access the report. Now, in shared folder, where do we want to create a report? In the shared folders, always we will create a report in custom folder. So any report which is being developed or modified will be going into this custom folder. To open this custom folder, we will click on expand. So in the custom folder again, we will have multiple folders. So for example, if the report belongs to financials, it will go into financials related folder. If report is related to procurement, it will go into the procurement folder. If the report is related to the projects module, PPM, it will go to the projects folder. The same way is for HCM, human capital management. So in this way, each and every module track or every track have a folder in this. So the report will flow into that folder. Here, every standard report which is being customized, that report will just create a path here in this custom folder and it will create its own folder and it will save over there. Now, since we want to develop a custom report, a new report, what we will do, we will create a folder first. Here it is. I'm showing you the structure now. Inside the reports, again, we need to create one folder. The folder name will be data model. Now, coming to the objects while creating a report. So while developing a BI report, we need to develop two objects. One is data model, second one is report. So what does the data model consist of? In the data model, first we will create a SQL, then create a data model. Then we will test the SQL in the data model with or without parameters. If we have parameters, we will configure the parameters first. And then once we run the report, XML will be generated. That XML we will save. These are 5 steps which we follow while creating a data model. Now, moving to the reports. Here in the data model folder, first we will go here and we will click on create data model. And always when you want to create something, you will have an icon new over here. So once you click on the new icon, all the new objects which are supported by Oracle are showcased in this pane. So here in the data model, we will create a dataset which will have the SQL query. In dataset, we will have a plus icon, create new dataset. In this new dataset, we will have multiple objects here which are based out of different tracks. So tracks here in the sense whether it is SQL query, whether it is a view object, whether it is a web service, or whether it is a report based out of a CSV file or Excel file or XML file. In this way, we have different objects. Now, we will go with SQL query most of the times while we work in the real time. So that is because a report based out of an Excel, let's say, is a one-time report. Means they just want to see the output on how it looks and they want to close it. So these one-time jobs are never went through BI publisher reporting. So going to the SQL query here, we will give the name. Always follow a naming convention. So for any data set, just start your name with data set. And if you have multiple data sets, you can just name them as 1, 2, 3 in this way. And what is data source? A data source is the track of Oracle ERP. Now, what are the tracks? So FSCM track, FSCM represents financials and SCM and PPM. HCM is human capital management track. CRM is customer relationship management. CRM will have CI, CX, all customer related modules. Now, if we select the HCM, so let's say I want to see the person related data. See, once we create a data set in this way, the data set will be displayed in the screen. And here you will have all the columns which are created in the dataset because we have selected star over in the select query. So here we will go to the data to look at the data being generated by the data model. So this data DS. So this is the XML format which is converted into readable format. Here we will have two views. One is tree view, which just displays all the columns in the tree structure. Second one is a table view. If we click on table view, it will go into much readable format. Once we create any report and we generate data, we mandatorily need to save that sample data. Data is saved. So where is this sample data saved and how we can check this sample data? So this sample data for this data set, if we want to check, we should go to the properties. In the properties, we will have sample data stored in the attachment. See, this is a sample data. It will always store the data in XML format. And so let's say a column doesn't have a value. See here, middle names column doesn't have a value. See, in the XML output, we do not have middle name. That is because the middle name column doesn't have a value in the displayed 5 records. So whenever we download those records, we will not have that value displayed in the XML structure. So in this scenario, if we want to display the XML with the values even without, sorry, display the columns even without values, then we'll go to the diagram. Here we will click on the properties. Here, XML output options. Here we have an option called include empty tags for null elements. So this represents elements without values will also be displayed in the XML output with some tag. Include open and close tag. On selecting this, we will get the tags displayed. Data view. This is old file. Here to export, we'll click on the export the data. So once we click on the export data, whatever data stored in the sample file will be exported to us. There's something not working in the report. So even after selecting that, we are not getting the empty tags in this output. So actually we will get the empty tags in the output. I'll just check the issue and I'll get back to you tomorrow on this empty tag related one. Continuing. So here today for just explaining to you, I have prepared one query. I have downloaded a query from online. So this query represents all the users and their roles with usernames and their employee number. So here, this query has a parameter role name. Now, once we create a report with parameter, this pop-up will come up and it will show a checkbox. If we need the parameter to be auto-configured, just check the checkbox and click on OK. So once we click on the OK button, the parameters will be showcased over here, and the parameter data type, default value, and parameter type, which is checkbox. And there are multiple types: text box, menu, date, POV, and search. So text is a free text which you can enter. A menu is the values which can be selected from the LOV. Date is date format parameter. The rest of the two I'll explain in some time. There is a checkbox called mandatory. So if we check this checkbox without entering the parameter value, you cannot run the report. This is row placement. So whenever we have so many parameters in the report output, in which row the parameter needs to be displayed, whether it is in first row, second row, or third row, that we will enter over here to let the BI reporting know on which row it should be displayed. Now going to the data set. So here I did not check this as mandatory. It means that even if I don't give the value to the P role name, the report should be run. So for that, in the data model, in the data set, if we check over here the query, we have it as role name equal to P role name. So this role name is mandatory to extract the data from this query, correct? So since this is not a mandatory parameter, what we can simply do is just copy the left hand side column and put an NVL here and paste it. Okay, data view. We got the data. Now I'll add a column role name to the report so that I could query this report with the parameter value. See here, the role name of Christine Ryan is collections agent. Copy the collections agent. If we want to, so here as an example, I'm taking collection agent role name as my parameter, and I'm clicking the view. So all the collections agents will showcase in your report. And next, here number of rows displayed are 5. So right now the 5 rows are being displayed in the report. We have option to select 10, 50, 100, and 200. Maximum of 200 rows we can display in the report. See, we'll get 200 rows. If the number of rows in Oracle is more than 200, still only 200 will be the limit of showing the report output. Any questions still here? Any questions still here?
No.
Moving to next, configuring a parameter as an LOV object. LOV. LOV means whenever we select a parameter as LOV, a drop down just like this one, similar to this one, will show up. So to configure an LOV, we need to configure the list of values. So in the list of values, I'll click a new list, and in the new list, I'll just give a name. Always your naming format should follow the Oracle naming convention. It should be more or less meaningful so that any developer who modifies your report should be able to understand. The type is SQL query, data sources, HCM. Now, here in this SQL query, I'll just take the roles related table, and done. So if your query have any issue, on clicking the tab button on the keyboard, the issues will be shown up in here. So now let's say I have added a semicolon, clicking the tab button. See, missing right parenthesis. In this way, the errors will be shown up in the pop-up. So you need to analyze it and you need to clear them out. The exact error message won't be showcased. So now LOB creation is done. From role name LOB, we will get an output of all the available roles in Oracle. Here, I will select the parameter type as menu, and I will configure my list of value as role name LOB. It will take some time to synchronize to this particular field. So now you got, okay. Here I'm picking up collections agent view. See, we will get the output of collections agent. I'll just pick some random value. If we have data in Oracle, we will get the data from the report. Here I picked up a role name as AI apps VIP report. So all the users with this particular role are now displaying to me in my sample data model output. So I have selected here, but system have only 8 records. So it is displaying only 8 records here in the output. Are we clear on LOVs?
Yes, sir.
Now in the LOVs, again, here we have multiple options. The first one is multiple selection. So once we select this multiple select, a pop-up will be shown up and it will give multiple values to be selected. So that is meant as multiple selection. I'll just configure one by one. Now I have selected multiple selection. So in the it takes a little while to sync. So here we are able to select multiple objects, but on clicking the search button here, we are not able to select the multiple objects if you observe. So this is one issue with the Oracle reports and analytics. It takes some time to synchronize our changes in the data model. This is a very standard issue which all developers will face. I'll just reload the data model and I'll show you. See, this way we will see if we select the multiple selection checkbox. So here, since we need to select multiple values, in this way we have two panes. One is left panel, second one is right panel. From left panel, if we want multiple objects, we can select them and move them to the right. Here we can search for the right value. I selected two values here. So when we have two values, how should our query be? Normally, how do we write our select? So in the select, whenever we have multiple values, we will write the in class, right? The same one we will write here also in. So once we give in to this, the parameter output will be a comma separated value and it will be passed into this variable. So then the query will be synced with Oracle standards correctly and it will show us the report output. It will take some time to synchronize. And here in our report, we have four columns: person number, display name, username, and role name. How does our XML tags? To check our XML tags names, we can go to the structure and here we will have a column called XML tag name. And in the XML tag name, we will have exact case sensitive tag name. So when we develop a report, a custom report, we need to copy this value from here or from our XML which has been generated in the sample file, and we need to create the report. See from here. So this is always equals to this here. Whatever is generated in the XML output which you downloaded, the tag names will always be same as the XML tag name column. The difference between the XML file and this one is, here we will have the master tags represented as data set. Under a parent data set, we will have a child data set defined here, whereas in the XML output, you will have the parent child relationship in understandable format for coders. See, I selected two roles here. One is collections manager, second one is AI apps BIP role. So I configured my parameter as menu parameter type, and I have provided it list of values, role name LOV. This role name LOV list of values is configured in list of values, and I have written a query for this to extract the values in the output per LOV view. So all the records with only these two values will be extracted. See, these are list of values, and the limit is 200. See, you are able to see uh, two roles related data. Are we clear till here? Now moving on to next. Just rejoin the session if it ends up.